Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. This little part could cause an engine misfire. What is it? I have a really good show prepared for you right here on this tailgate. 1G RFE, Toyota V6 4-liter engine, and the spark plugs. The misfires could be caused by all kinds of things and stuff and conditions and so on. But in this case, we will be talking about that little tiny detail. And that detail is ignition coil boot. I'm doing spark plugs replacement on this 1G RFE, and on the number 6 cylinder, when I pulled the coil, it came out this way. The bottom part separated and was stuck on the spark plug, like so. So, when I took it out, I couldn't really get to it with the normal spark plug wrench because it has its own, that socket has its own rubber inside, and that will be in the way. It was not making it in. So I took another socket which is sitting around, I never use. There is that rubber inside. Hopefully you can see it. I took a screwdriver, pushed that rubber out, therefore making space for this rubber, and I was able to engage the spark plug, undo the threads and remove it from the number 6 cylinder. Now, why there was a misfire? Because this rubber was not perfectly creating insulation from the spark plug tube, and the current occasionally, instead of going direct in spark plug, was shooting in that spark plug tube, which is right here. So it was pretty clear to see what is happening, and these boots need to be replaced. I called my Toyota dealer with the last 8 digits of the VIN number. That's how they always start with you. And I said, hey, this is the VIN. I have aging ignition coils. I know they are working perfectly fine. I discovered that I need to replace just those rubber boots on the bottom. Well, he checked and he said, well, Toyota doesn't sell that. Sorry, we will sell you entire coil, but we will not sell you the boot, the spring which is inside, the little coil spring. They will not sell you this rubber. None of that is available from Toyota regarding our parts guy. And you can buy the whole, but it's 6 of them. If you want to prevent this happening soon due to the age and mileage, it's 6 of them. One of them, unfortunately, with tax and everything, it's like $145. So that will be very expensive. Fortunately, in this case, and I know you don't like to hear about it, fortunately, we have an aftermarket people, and surprisingly, they sell it either individually, which I could buy one of those, I think it was like $10, and replace just one which is damaged. But when I'm looking on condition and I'm considering the age and everything, I don't think that will be correct. I think it should be replaced on all 6. So I bought the kit where is 6 of these ignition coil rubber boots, the bottom boots, and I'm going to replace it. And I bet you that was our problem. The coil will be fine because it was immediately obvious the rubber boot was compromised. So I'm not even questioning the coil. I believe when I will start it up, it will be running perfectly and there will be no problems. So let's continue with our show right here and let's see if it's even fitting. I was waiting for you to show you this little detail, how you put it together and how to prevent the boot breaking basically in this neck area. That's where it snapped. Now I didn't explain why that happened. It's by the age and the heat. And that heat basically glued that rubber to that spark plug. So it was stuck on it, sticky, and that's when I pulled on it. It broke easily, very easily. There was not much resistance. I just grabbed the coil after removing that 10mm little bolt, the hold down bolt. I basically pulled on it and this is what I found. This was stuck there and this is what came out. So it was by the heat and the cycles. I can feel it. The spark plug is sticky from it. So it was glued on it. And we need to prevent it, don't we? We want to prevent it. And I will show you what you will use and how it's done. Let's do it. And we are doing tailgate show. Despite the fact we have a whole shop. We have everything here. Just for a change. Let's do the tailgate show. So this rubber I can see. It's not in good shape. It's very easy ripping. And it's age, it makes sense. The truck is 18 years old. Here you can see the little spring I was talking about. It's right there, the little coil. Everything's fine. I don't see damage or cracks or anything on the coil. So I have a really clear feeling that this will be working and running perfectly. The idle will be fantastic and there will be no more problems. So basically that's the replacement. It has just different color, unfortunately, but what can we do? And I will, in front of you, with you, put it on. It comes nicely. And look at it. So we will have modified, perfectly, beautifully modified OEM Toyota ignition coils. Now, how we will prevent that sticking, again this is very tight, it's new so it's tight, how to prevent that situation which happened in the past. I have all the new spark plugs, SK20HR11 Denso Toyota, they are installed. This is what came out with completely burnt off tips and GK, very old. It's a miracle it was running. The gap, it's approximately double. So they are already in the engine. Many times people are aware of dielectric grease. And what they do? They don't understand what dielectric means, and they grab the new spark plugs, they shoved all of this goo all over this contact and think they are doing good job. Well, this dielectric grease, if you read the entire instruction and the manual, as the word suggests, it's non-conducting electricity. So if you think you will put it right here on that top connector and introduce it between that metal spring and that connector, well, that's the exact opposite what's supposed to happen. I don't know how to stress it enough, but it needs to be applied here. They basically, if you read it, they just keeps repeating. They are saying it waterproofs electrical contacts. So you're supposed to put it around it so the moisture cannot be coming inside. Moisture from just moist air or splashes from the road or whatever moisture you could be putting there. Now, if I take the brand new spark plug right now and apply it right here, I will lose it immediately. Why? Because when I will shove it in my spark plug socket, I will wipe it off. All I will put here, I will wipe it off on that rubber holding. There's that rubber O-ring, which is basically something like this. It's built in that socket, and that holds for me that spark plug when I'm putting it down in the spark plug tube. So it doesn't make sense to put this dielectric grease right now, then put it in here and put it in the engine, because I will wipe it off, most of it will be gone. What I do, and I like this CRC, that's a good product. There are other products from Permatex and other companies. What I do, I go very carefully and I apply it inside of this rubber boot. I will just show you how. I use this teeny tiny Craftsman screwdriver. This is pretty good system. You can adjust how much you will squeeze out of this tube. If you read this and it's not really visible, here it's max and to here it's minimum, and you start it right here. This is how it was supplied to you. It was right here. So when you will get this, if you want to purchase it, it's over the counter at the auto stores. This one came from O'Reilly. If you want to purchase it, start at the very minimum, because that one squeeze actually gets a bunch of it out. Again, as I said, I don't want to compromise the contact between the little spring, which we just shown, and the tip of the spark plug. So I'm not going, this is still too much, I'm not going to shove it there and start wiping it on the walls. I want to use tiny amount of it, and I hope you see it. The camera, it's showing everything. Guys, really, this is still kind of too much. Tiny bit of it. And I want to wipe it only on the walls of this rubber boot. I don't want that hanging right in the center, because that will compromise the electric current transformation, or what's the word? Transfer. It can be working as an insulation in the wrong spot. So I have it now on the inner wall of that tube only, and only after that I have it marked number 6. I have it put it in the vehicle, secure it with that 10 millimeter, right? That's what is holding it down in the place. And I have a feeling it's not the coil, it was just the fact that somebody tried to fix this, but it was not sealing properly. It was failed. The old ones, they're kind of swollen, they are not tight, you can see it. This one seems to be perfectly fine, but it's very easy to pull it off, and it was definitely time to replace these boots. And just using my one hand, so this is number 6. We are on driver's side on one GRFE. The 6 is the last one towards to the cabin. Due to the grease, it will be very easy to put it on top of that spark plug which is already there. We discussed that there are brand new ones. I will avoid this electric connector that I don't pinch it, position it there, and I will have certainty that in the future when I will be working on it, it still needs that 10 millimeter right here, but when I will be working on it in the future, that coil will come off very easily. I've double checked everything, like the stuff which I had disconnected here, the vacuum line and so on. Everything is in the place correctly done, so I bet you she will run perfectly. Before the engine will occasionally at that misfire from there, it will kick, but it's running smooth. I will pause the video and show you the idle when it will settle to the lower RPM. It's slowly getting down, it's getting better and better. And listen to this purr, this is wonderful. It took only like 5 minutes, I think, the idle settled. And this is how it's supposed to sound. I already know I was correct about that boot because the engine was literally making these misses. It was doing that as there was that sparking, arcing in that number 6 tube. Now for me, this is not finished yet. I have to go on test drive, but not just around the block. You have to put that engine underneath the load, and only then I can finish the paperwork and call or text customer that it's ready to pick up, because we don't want to skip that. And they will take it, and after 20 miles they will have a misfire again. So test drive is absolute must, needed, essential, and only after that I will be done with this baby and she will be happy for another 60,000. These V6 spark plugs are exception. Normally the Iridiums are 105,000 miles, but V6 Tacomas, Toyotas, the interval is 60,000 miles, and you are replacing the spark plugs again. So at that moment, me or somebody else will have an easy way to pull that ignition coil nicely off the spark plug, and it will be not breaking those boots. I hope you enjoyed this video. You will find it helpful, interesting. If you do, give it a thumb up and stay tuned. I have way more coming your way soon. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day, my friend.